There's always this, Chidera is old, oh, Chidera is old, oh. Well, maybe I am a superhero, but superhero self needs some days off. Do you understand? I'm really going to know that I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm not going to drain myself because, you know. Hi guys, welcome back to the Chidera Onuoha podcast, which we're also calling the TCO podcast. Your safe space every other Friday, where spreading love and light is what we know how to do best. I am so happy, elated, and excited to be with you guys once again. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is TCO, aka Stargirl Chi, and I run the Chidera Onuoha podcast. We usually do this every other Friday, where we see life through my lens. I love spreading love and light in this dark world. So I feel like everything I'm learning per time I share with you because I know we're connected. So if I'm going through something, you're also going through it too. So I'm just sharing, as I live and as I grow. Welcome to this safe space every other Friday. So yeah, we usually do, two episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all podcast streaming platforms. And then when we have a guest, we do both on podcast streaming platforms and on YouTube. But today, because of the topic, I decided to be on YouTube and also on other podcast streaming platforms because I can. And that is what we are doing specifically today. So, as you all seen, I'm going to be sharing some lessons I learned in my past year. I recently just turned 26 years old. And I am officially your big sister. And I've learned some things, and I decided to do an episode to share. So this episode is not just going to be a normal episode. I am trying to get ready to visit my friend today, and I decided to do a little, what YouTubers do where they do like get ready with me and talk together because I can and I'm going to do it. So let's get into it. So for today, I'm trying to choose between wearing this wig, it's my coily bohemian wig, or my straight bulb, and I'm trying to style both of them with this headband. So we're going to be seeing which one fits as I tell you lessons I learned. So honestly speaking, this past year is one that was beautiful in every ramification. I feel like my 25th year was the start of something magical. I started the year speaking a lot, praying a lot because I knew like 25 is a big year. 25 is not a small year in any way. So I started praying a lot, doing a lot of meditation. That's basically how my 25th year started, you know. And honestly speaking, I had a blast. I started doing things I didn't do. I feel like in my 25th year, that's when I literally became social media girl presenter, started doing recappets, and all that media stuff. It opened my mind to a lot of possibilities. I just I just see it as the year everything started falling in place because in my life, one thing I know is that I am someone that you know, I know where I want to be. I'm someone that from a really young age, I already knew where I was going to go. But I didn't necessarily know how it was going to play. So usually saw myself making a lot of prayers, saying, God, please, I know what you want me to do, but how do I get there? If that makes any sense. So like last year, sorry, just felt like everything was finally coming together, if that makes sense. Like everything was somehow falling in place for me. And that opportunity is one thing I do not take for granted. So this past year taught me that, you know, life is in stages and things are eventually going to happen. Obviously I'm not where I want to be, but I know like I'm getting somewhere. And last year was just proof that I'm not stagnant and I'm moving, in getting to where I want to be. That's number one. Number two, this last year taught me a lot. I've had this personality trait where I felt like I'm Jesus Christ. I have this personality trait where I feel like, oh, I constantly need to be the good person in everybody's story. But this past year taught me that I'm not Jesus Christ. My name is not Jesus Christ. My name is Chidera Onuoha Chidera Stephanie. Two other names I did not disclose on the internet. But I am not Jesus Christ. Like there's little to what I can do. I feel it was an experience I had, you know, and then I found myself trying my best to do so much, be the good person in everyone's story. And then I realized I was being drained. And then the thought just came to me, bruh, Chidera, you're not Jesus Christ. You're a human being. You're allowed to fail. You're allowed to make mistakes. You're not a superhero. Like, I know I'm a nurse and that counts for being a superhero, but you get what I mean. So you guys, I'm discovering, sorry for my audio listeners, but I'm discovering that this is actually an eyeliner. This is actually a lip liner. I know this is actually a lip liner. This is actually an eyeliner. So I it just made me know that I cannot be the hero in everyone's story. I literally am barely trying to cook myself, and yeah, that's number two. So one thing I'm learning is that I'll pause when I have to pause. I'll take breaks when I have to take breaks. I'll make mistakes. I'll hurt people, and I'll say sorry. Not like I'm going to constantly hurt people, but I cannot like I because I just genuinely feel like I'm a superhero. Do you understand? Oh, maybe I am a superhero, but superhero self needs some days off. Do you understand? And like even if I am a superhero, you know, God made me in a special way to be the light to people. At the same time, I'm going to make conscious efforts not to drain myself while doing that. You get me? You know, people pleasers in the house, we understand ourselves, but we're recovering. We are not staying there. But yeah. Secondly, sorry, thirdly, this year taught me that a moving person will always meet luck halfway. So I mean, I'm still yet to meet my luck because I know there's so much I'm still going to do in my life or so much I'm still going to become. But in this year, like I said in my first points, I don't know if I'm doing this right. I saw a lot of things happen. I don't know. A moving person always meets luck halfway. Opportunities always go for someone that shows up. Opportunities always go for someone that moves constantly. So this year taught me that a moving person will meet luck halfway. I feel like I said this in my last podcast episode that was audio, but this thing, I don't know how it stuck in me, but it seriously made so much sense and just made me more motivated. I cannot stay in one spot. I have to keep going and moving until I get to where I want to be because a moving person will always meet luck one way or the other. So there's no stagnancy for me. I'm going to keep moving till I get to where I wanna be. So yeah, that is the second point. You guys, I think I'm doing a bad job. Let's say, I think my smart said I should not be doing now. A moving person will always need to look halfway. Yeah, yeah, that's my third point. Then my fourth point taught me that you learn on the job, whatever you're doing. Because as a nurse this year, I beat my last year, I literally became a nurse. I went from being a girl that just finished her internship to actually becoming a nurse, charging words. I always say this, but it just made me know that you learn on the job. And if you're bad at something now, if you keep going, not like you're bad at it, because I just literally started working. I went from theory to practical without any guidance, but I learned on the job. I'm actually a nurse now. Like I'm not joking. Like call me for your consultations, and I'm so grateful for that. That's point number three. Point number four is live your life. I know I'm still. This is something I want to do more in my 2060 because my 2050 I feel like I was just living over the edge. I wasn't necessarily living my life the way I wanted to live my life. I was really just hustling, juggling, nursing, being a media girl, podcasting. But one thing I learned towards the end of my 2050 is that guy, life will keep moving, and if you do not collect memories, if you do not collect memories along the way, you'll be at the back. You know, you'll be at the back, and you do not want to stay at the back. I propose. So I'm learning. Like I did something for my 26-year-old birthday. Something I've always wanted to do. I wanted to like be in front of the ocean journal and just reflect, and that's what I did. And I was so happy I did it. And just made me know that guy, anything you want that makes you happy, you have to do it. You can't keep waiting for a perfect time. Like I'm going to intentionally make out time for side quests I really want to do in my 26th year because honestly, memories are the ones you collect along the way. You can't wait for it to come to you. If you do not collect memories for your life, that is your business, And I don't want to be that child. I don't want to be that one that regrets later. I want to be that one that does fully, this fully. Yeah, So that one too. So that too, and you can see like my lips. So that's two, and that's the fourth one. And then I feel the fifth one is trust God. Like trust God genuinely. Trust God. There are times in this my 25th year, I trusted God. I didn't know what my life was going to turn into. I didn't know what was going to happen. You guys, sorry, that's leper, and we all experienced that. But I trusted God. So build a relationship with God is really, really important. So let's recap the points over again. You know, let's wear this week first. So the first one is I don't know how to explain that first point, but one thing I know is that everything is coming together in my life. Everything God said about me God said will be done in my life eventually would be done. And this year just made me feel like I wasn't stagnant and I was actually moving. Secondly, I'm not Jesus Christ. My name is literally Chidera Onuoha. I cannot be the hero in everyone's story. Even if I'm a superhero, I deserve to have some time off, and I'm genuinely going to know that I'm not Jesus Christ. I'm not going to drain myself because, you know, number two. Number three, a moving person will always meet luck halfway. Like, you will always meet luck halfway if you keep, going. If you do not stop, you will meet your luck halfway. Like, no food for lazy man, no food for the person that stops, you know, no food for the person that stops on the way. Sorry. No food for the person that stops on the way. Like, no food for them at all. So if you want something, you have to go hard to get whatever it is you want. You have to keep going because luck always meets you if you do not stay in one place. Fourth, because it was my fourth point. Fourth, you need to make time out for yourself. You need to make time out. Sorry, you need to genuinely make time out for yourself. You need to genuinely do things that make you happy, things that make you smile. It's more side quests because if you're going to keep working and nothing is going to happen. You need to genuinely make time out for yourself. And the fifth one, sorry, the fifth one, trust God like a baby. Like, if you've not built a relationship with God, like, what exactly are you doing, sister? You need to build a sustainable relationship with your maker because God is everything. And literally trust God's plan for your life and just watch your life unfold. So things I am taking into 26, 22, into my 26th year, because it's such a flex we born in 2000, you guys. My age is literally at the back of the age of the year. So it's like, oh, 2026, you're 26, 2027, 27, 2028, you're 28, 2030, you're 30. And it's such a good thing. I also learned that aging is a blessing. You know, I've always been someone that's scared of aging because I'm the first child, you know, and my siblings, I always saw life before my siblings. Basically, I entered secondary school before my siblings, I entered university before my siblings, So there's always this, Chidera is old, oh, Chidera is old, oh, things that went on in my siblings. But I'm realizing that being 26 is a blessing. 18 to see 30 is a blessing. Not everyone has that blessing. So if it is you, you know, if you're the one, I feel like you should give yourself more praises, give yourself more accolades because a lot of people wish they were alive to see these ages that you're tired of, if that makes any sense. So yeah, these are the five key lessons I learned in my 25th year, and I cannot wait to see what my 26th year is. I already am so confident and so happy for this new year. I know it's going to be a blast, God being by my side. So yeah, those are five lessons I learned as a 25-year-old entry 26. Let me know what you guys think. So you guys, till next time, till next podcast episode. I think I'm going to go with the other week, but I will just testing it too. Till next time, till next podcast episode. Bye.